Hi guys, welcome to Oliveboard. Welcome to the session of orientation for our new course, that is RBI Grade B crash course. For this very course, I would like to tell you, we have come up with this course because we all know exam is almost 65 days you will be having your exam notification out. So that's why we have come up with this new course. Let's first discuss the paper pattern. I hope you all know, with respect to your RBI, it comes up in 3 phases. So as your phase 1, it's about the preliminary phase where your quant, reasoning, English and GA portion is judged. Keeping a mind of the topics that are coming in your exam. So the number of questions that are asked from your English section, it's 30. Out of 30 marks, the duration which is given is 25 minutes. Then quant, again 30 questions are asked, 30 marks paper is there, and again the duration is 25 minutes. Then comes your reasoning. Reasoning is of 60 marks, 60 questions are there, that means 1 marks for each question, 1 marker questions are there. The duration is again 45 minutes. With respect to your general awareness, there are 80 questions for 80 marks and duration is 25 minutes. So I hope that by now you are actually able to understand that for your phase 1, what all you have to prepare, your English, quant, reasoning and GA. For your English, last year, at least for 2023, the paper was easy to moderate, more towards the easier side. It was doable paper as far as phase 1 is concerned. But if I talk about your quant as well as reasoning, they were pretty tough. Some of the DIs in your quant was not to be attempted. If you would have fallen into the trap of attempting those DI, you would have not been able to qualify the paper. So that's where the caveat lies. You have to practice. You have to practice from somebody, from such a paper pattern you should do as your mock, so that it's helpful in your main exam. Next, for reasoning also, the paper was pretty towards a tougher side, a difficult side. Next thing, with respect to your general awareness, for general awareness, some questions, yes, out of those 80 odd questions, almost 10 questions were super easy. 10 to 15 questions were of medium level and the rest were tough. Why am I saying tough? I am saying tough, reason being, the limited amount of time, that is 25 minutes, you have to skim all those 80 questions. If you are not able to skim all the 80 questions, you will not be able to clear this. This 80 questions will make it or break it. But then, some of the questions were straightforward questions. Next, some questions were also statement based. So that means your reading ability should also be fast. With reading, comprehension ability should also be very good. So that's the case. Next thing. The analysis with respect to the past year cutoffs. So the total score for 2021 was near about 66% out of 200 I am talking about. Again 63 out of 200, and the last year that the paper was tough, seriously tough. Your reasoning, quant and GA section was above the moderate level. In that particular scenario, the cutoff dropped significantly. You can just have a look. But then again, it's not even 50% score that you have to gain. Even if you are able to roughly score 30-40%, you are through in the exam. So that's what the past year cutoffs also signifies. Next thing. So we were having many of the queries out there that our course is a little bit expensive. You people wanted off, so that's why we have bought not 40%, but this time 50% off, and this will be there for only 2 days, that is today and tomorrow. You can use the code MAY to get the discount on both the crash courses for phase 1 as well as phase 2. Believe me, if you have not prepared up till now, or in the mock tests, in the weekly tests, if you are not getting good marks, then that's the right criteria how you should move ahead. Take somebody's mentorship so that your path to your success becomes easy. Anyways, with respect to the subject wise cutoff. So roughly RBI from last couple of years, it is keeping the subject wise cutoff at 15%. That means for general awareness, the cutoff for the general sections was 12 marks out of 80. Reasoning, it was 9. English, 4.5. Quant, 4.5 out of 30. English also out of 30. So you can just see it's roughly about 15% marks that you have to get. If you are weak in quant, just attempt one DI. If you are able to attempt only one DI, you will be through. If you are weak in reasoning, just attempt one reasoning question. Just 9 marks you have to get out of those 60 marks. But then that is also sometimes tough. So this is where a structured course will help you out in preparing. So in this very course, you will be having live lectures. Live means if you have any doubt, you can get your doubts resolved there and then. You need not wait for some faculty or some other mentorships to happen. Though there are many platforms on which your doubts will be resolved. Oliveboards provide you one-on-one session as well. But then certainly if you are having live classes, one thing is very good. You don't procrastinate. Take the live courses at the appropriate time only, so that you are not keeping it for the later time, because otherwise the tomorrow will never come. That never comes. I'll take your doubts just after the session. But then if I talk about English, you'll be having regular classes at least 2 to 3 times a week. Last year paper was easy to moderate. Yes, last year was easy to moderate, more towards easier side, but this you cannot predict for this very year. Things can change. For your reasoning session, I have already told you last year the paper was more towards difficult side. If you would have lost in some a difficult puzzle that should have been left, in that case you are stuck. You will not be able to get those 9 marks even. So therefore, a structured course with required amount of practice, some questions need to be practiced, which puzzle to pick, which to leave. This is where the preparation of reasoning will help you. Again, for quant, you will be having a couple of classes. In that classes, the course is again live. Roshan sir will take it. One more thing, in reasoning, correct this, quant and aptitude. So in quant and aptitude also, you'll be having live classes, and in the live class, you can just ask your doubt when and where you feel it's required. So that's how this course will also help you. Now with respect to your GA portion. Now if I talk about GA specifically comprises of your multiple topics. Going ahead by the last year paper, the maximum dedicated portion that was there in the examination was from government schemes. Then after government schemes, it was your RBI circular. Then there were reports, question out of reports were there. Then even question from sports were there. Questions from multiple news out there, some MOUs being signed. So that means, PIB based news. Not even that, books and authors news also come every now and then. Questions do come from that domain as well. But one thing you be clear. How much was the cutoff last year? 54 roughly. How much was the cutoff the year before the last one was? Roughly around 63, then 64. That's how your 2023, 2022 and 2021 cutoff was. What can you see from this cutoff? If you are able to score good marks in GA out of 80 marks, if you are able to score good, only GA is required to clear the main cutoff, the cutoff, that is the total cutoff. But then yes, for quant section, separate cutoff is there that you need to clear. But one thing is sure, if you are able to prepare GA section well, you will ace this exam. Not only this GA will helpful in your phase 1, but also the next segment, which is your phase 2. But let's focus on phase 1 only over here. So what all you have to read? From the government scheme section, be it your phase 1, be it your phase 2, schemes and reports that were in news from the last 1 year that have to be read. 70% questions. close to 70 to 80% questions were there from the current events with respect to the government schemes. Whatever was government scheme was there in the news in the last 1 year, the questions from there itself. With respect to other landmark schemes, almost 20 to 30% questions were from some of the schemes that are in the landmark domain that is very important for the government of India, welfare approaches and all. So therefore, 20 to 30% is from the landmark as well. So in course, we not only cover your in news portion, but also the landmark schemes. Next thing, with respect to annual surveys, these are some of the annual surveys that you need to pick it up. Questions have been asked from all these surveys in the previous years. One more thing, with respect to current affairs, go for at least 6 months. If not, if you have just begun, if you are not able to pull it up for the last 6 months, then at least try to do first 3 to 4 months. So that's where compilation will be helping you out. So you can join the course, and in the course you will get the compilation as well. One more thing, with respect to your GA preparation, this GA preparation is not only for your phase 1 but also for your phase 2. Apart from this, do also go forward to read the RBI circulars, all that which is in news. Now, let's come on to the phase 2 of the paper that comprises of your 3 papers. That is your ESI, Economic and Social Issues, that comes as your paper 1. In your paper 1, there is objective, there is descriptive part. In the objective, there are 30 questions, 2 marker, 20 questions are there, and 1 marker, 10 questions are there, making it 50 marks paper as a whole. You are given 30 minutes, that's what the time range is. Then comes your descriptive, where 6 questions are there, you need to attempt only 4. Out of this 6, 10 marker, 2 questions you have to attempt, and 15 marker, 2 questions you need to attempt. That's how 50 marks paper is laid out in front of you. You will be having 90 minutes. Here you not only have to write the descriptive answer, but then over here you have to type as well. So that means not only your subject knowledge, but your typing speed is also being checked. Next thing, for finance also there is somewhat similar pattern. You will be having objective descriptive part, 30 minutes will be given for your objective and 90 minutes for your descriptive. Then paper 2, it's your descriptive portion where you will be getting comprehensive portion. Comprehension has to be solved, answers have to be typed, and apart from that there is a essay writing as well, there is a essay writing as well. For English specifically, I want to add over here, in English, out of the essay topic that are there, people are really afraid of writing those essay. They feel that, how can we will be able to write an essay. But then be sure of, if you are able to complete your management portion, your ESI portion, out of all the 4 essays which are to be written, two topics are either from your ESI or from your management portion. That means pretty easy, pretty doable. Next thing, with respect to the cutoff. So for general, last year the cutoff was 169. And for the final cutoff, that is with your interview, it was 229. So one thing is clear, if you are able to do good in your phase 2, the chances of you qualifying the paper itself, after even, if you are able to get a moderate level of marks in your interview, you will be able to clear the exam. But then, where to study? What will be the paper pattern? This is where the PYQs will help. So we have PYQs well segregated with respect to the topic wise thing. So you can just go visit it out and first go and read these PYQs. For today, it's take it as a homework. Do and check what are the PYQs that are being asked. Certainly once you have read what the PYQ is, then you can actually relate it to how the classes are being going and how you can prepare your part well. But then take a word from myself. I am giving you in written. Do my ESI classes in the live. No matter what will happen, the paper will be coming from there only. Next thing. This is your ESI syllabus. Before starting my class, do one thing. take a print out of the syllabus, keep the syllabus in front of wherever you sit and study, and mark the topics whatever you have done. Not only mark them if we have done in the class, but also have you prepared that topic with respect to objective and descriptive portion. So prepare objective, prepare descriptive, then you can tick that portion of the syllabus that okay, this is done. Then one more thing you should do is, if we are having 5 classes in a week, ESI you will be having 5 classes in a week, 1 hour lecture will be there. After that, on Saturdays and Sundays, it's your duty to sum up all what you have read in the whole 1 week, revise it. Also, after every section, I try to give some of the practice questions for descriptive writing. You can just write them and then submit it to me. I'll check it personally. Now, you might be thinking, whenever you will be going through your previous PYQs, you might get confused whether to go with static or to go with current, because certainly in the last couple of years, the current weightage in your ESI paper is huge. You will find that maximum questions are from current affairs only. Only 4 questions were there, from your static part. But then the question will be, should you leave static part altogether? No. That is just what has happened in the last couple of years, last 2-3 years. You never know, this year it might be a bouncer. 1 year is a very big challenge. 1 year is a very big thing in our whole life. So why to waste that one attempt speculating that okay, if it has not happened, it will not happen in the future. It will only take 40-45 odd classes to cover up your ESI portion with respect to static part. I am telling, do that, very simple. So that's where the course will also help. Whenever you will try to read the topics on your own, it might take even longer. So that's where the course might help. Now, should you leave static portion? A complete no, cover it. But what should be revised again and again is your current portion. So for current, we'll be having in the course specifically, you'll be having segregated topics in which reports will be covered separately, in which schemes will be covered ministry wise. So certainly that will help you out. Now for your English, I have already told you it will be essay writing, RCs as well as essay writing. For essay, we have already discussed. If you are preparing your ESI static portion well, if you are reading your management portion well, I am giving you in written, out of the 4 topics of essay that are being out, 1 or 2 will be such that you will be able to write it if you are thorough with your preparation of ESI as well as management. In management specifically, the questions are more towards your ethics paper related. This is your finance syllabus. Same goes for your finance syllabus as well. Whenever the finance class starts, keep this syllabus before your seat wherever you sit and study, and try to cover this syllabus one by one. This is the management. And with respect to the weightage of finance and management, in finance and management from the last 2 years, see, management, it's static. How can you change that? So therefore, it's your 50:50. A balanced paper is there, where definitely from your management side, the applied questions are too much. That means they are not asking you straightforward questions. There is a paragraph based question on which application has to be, the knowledge has to be applied. So that's also where the course will help you out. Next, for current affairs, RBI circular, whatever economy, finance related news is there, SEBI circulars, Nabard circular, that is where they will help you out. So finance and management, because this is a pretty 50:50. Management, it's completely static. You can start with management and you can revise it multiple times. Also, whenever you are preparing your finance and management, do start writing the answer from the day itself. As in, when you are able to cover one topic, let's say communication you have covered, so you should there and then start practicing the PYQs, descriptive writing I am talking about. Next thing. Now the question will be, ma'am, phase 1 pehle hai, phase 1 will be before your phase 2. So first I will be preparing for phase 2. phase 1 and then for phase 2. No, this should not ideally be your approach, and this is the same approach we are using for your course as well. Prepare for phase 1 and phase 2 simultaneously. Give weightage to both of them. Why? After all, yes, phase 1 is qualifying. I agree, phase 1 is qualifying, but then what if you are able to qualify phase 1, but the difference between your phase 1 and phase 2 is roughly 40 days? And out of that, 20 days goes in the nervousness of whether I'll be able to qualify or not, because your result come roughly after 2 weeks. So 14 to 15 days is when the result come after your phase 1. So you'll be left with very little amount of time. So therefore, till the time your notification is not coming, it will be ideally appropriate to start with both of these preparations simultaneously. After all, for your phase 2 current part, it's somewhat same as your phase 1 current part. Somewhat. The level of questions will be up over here. Over here, paragraph based questions are there. Applied questions are being asked. But then again, if you are preparing current affairs well in your phase 1 with respect to ESI, that is government schemes, that is reports, that is with respect to the international organizations that are out there, and for your finance, specifically your RBI SEBI circulars, you will be able to ace in your phase 2 part as well. At least that will be sorted. So that's all from my side. If you have any query, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll wind up the session here. Anything that you want to ask? Okay, then let's wind up the session here itself. And you can go and get yourself enrolled in the course. So for the next 2 days, we'll be having 50% off. That is till 3rd of May. Go back, revise these classes, and also take the classes live. That will be very helpful. Otherwise, procrastination is what will happen. Thank you and have a nice day.